Hello there guys, it's me Russell with Rusty Bullwhips again, and this is the latest whip to enter my collection, so we're going to be doing a review on it. This is going to be a review of my 7-foot, 12-plat Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull bullwhip. So starting off with the maker, this wonderful bullwhip was made by Josh Ellis of Catchall Crafts. He is an Etsy seller who makes excellent nylon whips and has just recently started making kangaroo hide whips. As of now, this is my most screen accurate Indiana Jones whip, and I think it's a real beauty. This whip was braided in a 12-plat overlay rather than a 16-plat, unlike the screen-used crystal skull whips made by Terry Jacka. The color of this whip is whiskey with brandy knots, so it is very screen accurate. It follows all the Indiana Jones specs perfectly. It has the traditional 8-inch classic American whip handle despite being based off of an Australian whip. The Turk's knot is a 6x7 boxy heel. It's more square than the original trilogy heel knots which were circular. The transition knot is a 5x4, and it seems to have a swell right underneath it before it transitions into the knot. This gives the handle a slight taper upon closer inspection. I think the brandy knots, contrasting with the whiskey, give the whip its unique appearance, other than the solid, one-tone whip colors for the first 3 movies. However, unlike the Terry Jacka whips, this whip seems to lack the stiffened transition. However, the lack of a stiff transition allows for this whip to have a very smooth rollout. The whip has an excellent taper, which goes down to a 6-point fall hitch and then a dark brown 30-inch Latigo hide fall, which is screen accurate to the film. The Crystal Skull whip is actually my personal favorite out of all the Indy whips just because of how unique and different it is from the traditional way. This gives the whip its own character and makes its own story. Perhaps Indy had to change whips several times over his adventures, or he used the exact same one and had to have the knots repaired. Though it's just a 7-footer, it feels a lot like an 8-footer in its weight and its feel. Appearance-wise, it's spot on, but how does it perform? Let's take it outside and give it a crack. And there you go, the 7-foot Kingdom of the Crystal Skull Indiana Jones bullwhip by Josh Ellis of Catchall Crafts. Overall, this is a wonderful whip for any Indiana Jones fan or any whip enthusiast. If you're looking for a high-grade kangaroo hide bullwhip, look no further than Catchall Crafts.